My name is Michan and Lacey, and on March 13, 2020, I was at my house in Zwolle, Louisiana, and I was a sophomore in college.
My name is Destin Lopez, and on March 13, 2020, I was a senior at Lake Arthur High School, and I was 18 years old.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and when COVID started, I was in Pineville, Louisiana, in Pineville High School.
My name is James Lowring. When COVID first hit, I was a 17-year-old senior at Castor High School in Castor, Louisiana.
My name is Kelsie Campbell, and I was attending my senior year in high school at Marshall High School in Marshall, Texas.
I'm Leah Portillo. When COVID happened, I was in high school, my junior year, 16 years old actually, at South Lafourche High School, which is in southern Louisiana in a town called Galiana.
My COVID story is, I mean, it is my story, but it was also kind of like my family's story. So my mom actually ended up getting re-diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of quarantine. So it was all precautionary. I was like scared to leave the house, scared to go hang out with friends. And if we did, it was maybe just like one of us. But I never partied. Never went out in big groups, just kind of like kept to my small little friend group. Some of them got COVID, but I never got COVID. So, I mean, I'm still healthy and going strong. So that's kind of like my COVID story.
I just stayed at home or went to work, and work became very stressful because people would come in all day, hours after closing, just to try and find toilet paper or cleaning supplies. People would buy bottles of Lysol from the store and spray our card machine with it before they would touch it. They wouldn't be wearing regular masks. They would have these makeshift masks that were tied around them, welding masks I'd see a couple times. I'm pretty sure I saw a fishbowl one time. Yeah, COVID made me realize that not everyone is that smart, and that it brought out the worst in some people, and I think the best in some people, but where I come from, it was mostly the worst.
Ooh, okay. So when I first heard about COVID, I was actually working at Walmart, and I just remember everything starting to change. We slowly started to wear masks, and then before we could even clock in, we had to go through a different door and get our temperature checked, and we had to answer a series of questions like, do you have any stomach problems, this, that, and the other. And I have anxiety, so I have problems, and I would explain that to them, but then they were like, oh no, those are symptoms of COVID. You have to go to the doctor and get a note saying that you don't have COVID. I had to do that like twice, which made me miss like 2 weeks of work. And so it was crazy. But then after that, I ended up wrecking my car, and I ended up losing my job. And that's when it really started, because I was in the house after that a lot. I didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. My friends would want to do stuff. I didn't, because I'm an introvert. I like being alone, but COVID kind of made me sit with all my insecurities, everything I didn't like about myself. I felt trapped, and I didn't really have anything else to do but do makeup and take pictures.
I was actually, the day it happened, it kind of felt like everything shut down at once. for me because I'm in color guard, which is a sport, and we have a winter season, an auxiliary sport. We have a winter season, and we were supposed to go to a really big competition that weekend, but it got canceled right before it was supposed to happen, and it had never been canceled before. You never canceled things like that, so it was really shocking when that happened, and it kind of made me realize how serious this was.
Going to college for the first time was weird because it was the first time I had went to school with mask on, and so I had only seen the top part of all my classmates' faces, and I actually didn't really know what they looked like, and we were doing Zoom for the first time. I had no idea how to work it, and we were doing Microsoft Teams and a bunch of different programs. I had to download like 5 on my computer, and my computer would kick off during COVID because it couldn't handle it. Anytime we'd be in a Zoom, it would just shut down in the middle of the class, so it was actually really hard because the Wi-Fi in the dorms wasn't strong enough to hold everybody on Zoom classes at the same time. And the only people I really got to become friends with were the people I lived with in the dorms.
Well, whenever we first started school back again in the fall of 2020, it was really weird. Everything was weird. I had no idea what to expect. I couldn't take the advice of my upperclassmen because it wasn't going to be the same as what they had experienced. They had no idea what was going on, and neither did I. And I just remember the day we moved into dorms here at NSU, they were like, you have to come to this big event with all these people, but you have to wear your mask, but you have to attend, or else you're gonna miss out on like important information about being a freshman. And I did miss out on important information because I didn't go. But 2 days later, they sent me and my roommate home, including the friends that we came to NSU with from our hometown, our hometown in Marshall. They sent all of us home for COVID because one of our friends got COVID and went to health services, and they were like, who are you in close contact with? And it was all of us. So the day before school started my freshman year, I got sent home back to Texas for 2 weeks. And then when I came back, everyone else was doing school, and I had no idea where to go. I didn't know what Kaiser Hall was, didn't know that there was multiple floors, other than obviously seeing that there was multiple floors, and I was just super lost. And then 2 days later of attending not in-person classes because they were hybrid at the time, which means that like half the class attended on one day of the week and the other half attended on the next day of the week. After that, the hurricane hit and we got sent home again because it really tore up the southern campus and also this campus a little bit as well. So.
What helped me get through this experience was I didn't know what college I wanted to go to, but I've been knowing what I wanted to be. And I wanted to be a writer, a journalist, someone that tells stories for other people, to give people a voice, because I don't feel like I have a voice. And so if I at least can help others have a voice, that would make me feel better. And so it was just the fact that one day I was going to be doing things like this, or one day I was going to give people a chance that got me through COVID.
God, my family, and my friends. They didn't really allow me to quit on myself, and I realized I had to be more open with them about the way I was feeling, or they wouldn't be able to help me if they didn't know.
TikTok. I know it's probably everybody's answer, but TikTok, honestly, because you couldn't communicate with people. The only way you could communicate with people and like see what was happening in other people's lives was just watching TikTok and seeing what other people were doing, how they were keeping themselves entertained, and keeping a close connection with your close friends that you knew that you could trust and knew wouldn't go out and get sick or anything. That's also what kept me going, because I still have friends from high school that I'm very, very close with to this day and consider to be like my best friends. So they're part of they're the people who got me through COVID because I could trust them, and I'm happy for that.
Honestly, my friends. I think my friends were the biggest support that I had. I didn't spend much time around my family at that time because, well, my grandmother died in March of 2020. I'm not sure which exact day, but it was in the later months. And that was really hard because we didn't get to have a funeral. We had to cremate her. We couldn't bury her. Couldn't have the funeral, couldn't have a viewing or nothing. No, to this day, I haven't even visited her grave. And she was basically my mother. I was raised in a weird family, but she was like my mother figure, and it was very hard.
And I actually didn't get COVID until last year because the place I was working at let their employee come to work with COVID. So I unfortunately caught it.
Yes, so 3 months after March, I got COVID, and like I didn't even realize that I really had it because I had like very mild symptoms, and I was like, oh my God, it's my yearly cold, but it was not my yearly cold. And
Yes, in 2021 I got it twice.
No, actually, I'm 3 years in and I've never had COVID.
COVID didn't hurt me that much, other than when COVID initially happened and we weren't allowed to go to high school. I had to stay home with my family, and I do not like my family because of bad home life. And it kind of made me want to leave more. So the minute that college was knocking at my door, I was packing my bags and leaving.
I don't think I've recovered from COVID, right? Like, I'm not the person that I was in 2019. I'm really shy and I have anxiety, but I just don't talk about it because I just deal with it, you know, and I just pretend that these problems aren't there, and they are. I just, you know, overwork myself so that they could be worth it, right? So like all of these negative emotions that I feel can be worth it if I just overwork myself and make something that is actually good out of it. And yeah.
Definitely being in isolation for that time really made me lonely. And there was always a thought in the back of my mind when I saw someone that I might just get sick here. I might have some underlying problem in me that I don't know about, and I can get sick and I could possibly die. Or I can, even worse, get somebody else sick, someone in my family, and they could get, you know, they could perhaps possibly pass away as a result of me. I never wanted that to happen, of course. And I'm lucky that I was lucky and that my family was lucky.
I would say to 17-year-old Kelsie to look up and don't be so afraid.
I would tell her to calm down and not completely freak out and not think it's the end of the world and nobody's gonna make it, because I did survive and she'll make it through, and so just keep persevering.
No tengas miedo. Don't be afraid, because that fear carries with you, and if you're afraid and if you let the fear consume you, you'll never get out from the fear.
Cherish the time that you have with your friends, with your family, and with yourself. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're not enough or you're not good enough, because you are. And you're precious. You have a purpose here on this earth, and you never know what the future might hold and when your time might be up. So take advantage of that.
To 17-year-old me, get over it. It's not that bad. And I don't know, stay cool.
What I would tell 18-year-old Kevin would be, you're gonna be fine. You're probably not gonna be the happiest person, but you'll make it. You'll find love. You'll have the people that you left with, or some of them at least. And you're 21 now, and go to the bar and get a drink.